You may have noticed that things are looking a little different around here. You're working for a new team.
Could it be because it was a driver change? New team, new overalls. Who dis?
Be sure to check your emails for a summary of any resource points you've inherited.
It does suck that I lost all my resource points I earned with Williams, but there you see right there. I switched to Racing Point and Stroll takes my seat back at Williams.
The competition is certainly heating up as we head into today's qualifying. Some impressive times showing up during the previous practice sessions. Anthony Davidson, do you think we can expect a similar level of skill to be showcased during today's qualifier?
Well, I certainly hope so. The competition here is extremely tight, and I think we might see some very close times today. Remember, practice isn't just about fastest lap times though, it's about optimization, it's about ratifying your decisions. No one's going to be sweating small mistakes here and there, but in qualifying that all changes. You need to nail that perfect lap or face the consequences, and believe me, that's a lot of pressure.
So yeah, first qualifying session in the new car, and we're going out right on a flying lap. Braking just at the 75-meter mark. It's more invisible as it isn't pointed out, as the cones are every 50 meters, but yeah, braking at 75 meters. Run a little bit wide at turn 3. Coming up to turn 4, we try to take a little bit of a wider line to carry speed through it, but that doesn't really matter too much. Flashing forward to the end of the lap, because honestly it's just a qualifying lap. If you want to see more of that, you can see them on my league races, specifically EWRL, where I include the full qualifying lap there. But anyways, that's not this. So we're just going to come up to the line, and we're going to take provisionary P4? P3? Either it's P4, but we're probably going to get knocked down by a couple more people this session. As we do, it's P7 for us. So that's not a bad result on our debut qualifying.
With everything still to play for in the championship battle, there's no room for mistakes in a Grand Prix that's well known for creating them. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya then, a high-speed 2.89-mile circuit which demands an efficient downforce package and bravery on the part of the driver, especially through the blind right of turn 9, which we might just see taken flat this weekend. And a warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's with me in the commentary box today, discussing the new driver lineup. So, let's start with Lance Stroll. They've just moved to Williams. How do you think they'll get on?
Well, I think this came as something of a surprise to most of us, but it could end up being a bit of a coup for the team. Getting a driver with experience higher up in the field might just be the boost they need, and I'm sure they'll be a big asset as the team continues to develop their car.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas, Charles Leclerc and Albon. A Racing Point, Weber, Grosjean and Daniel Ricciardo. Sainz, Magnussen, Sergio Perez and Raikkonen, Norris, Kvyat, Lance Stroll and George Russell. Hülkenberg, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Devon Butler starts from the back of the grid.
You're in a strong position to deliver a point-scoring place for the team today. We know you can do it.
It is 5 red lights. And away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix. That's something Emerson would say, but I guess I'm taking his job today. Alright, we're going down turn 1. On the approach to turn 1. Tucking into Albon's slipstream so early. Nearly rear-end him. Bang wheels at the front. But we get past him for P6. It's not something bad. We're hoping that we can catch a Leclerc. Maybe get past him. So we go for a big, ambitious lunge. It wasn't the cleanest of all moves. Something to note is that we're starting on the medium tires in comparison to most people starting on the softs. A different strategy we tried to go for. Since anyone who makes it to qualifying 3 has to start the race on their qualifying 2 tire, I decided to go on the mediums in qualifying 2 and push my absolute hardest to make it to qualifying 3, which I did. and then I was able to just set a solid lap on the softs in qualifying 3 to get my way into my best position to start the race on. But yeah, here you see Leclerc fighting us. Deferring strategies will come to play. He's gonna pit stop sooner than the rest of us. But everyone else in this race is probably gonna box sooner than me, if not definitely. I mean, really, there are varying strategies, and you see right there my DRS stops functioning, so that's a little bit problematic if I'm ever gonna need it. But it's not the biggest issue because we don't have anyone within a second ahead of us. We're trying to catch Verstappen ahead of us, though I don't know if that's going to be possible by the end of the race. But you see, everyone's in the pit lane right now, so we are, for the second, just for the moment, we're in P2. Lap 10, we come in for our pit stop.
Exit now.
It was a really clean pit stop. It was quicker than something we'd get out of Williams.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
So now we are free to unleash our absolute quickest pace. As you see right there, 5.2 seconds is the gap to Verstappen and I. So I'm just trying, you see I run off the track a little bit, talk about track limits. We're just slowly extending we're slowly closing the gap, as now you see 4.1 seconds just a lap later. And Magnussen, this is a couple of laps later, Magnussen retires from the session, and that VSC allows me to get a little bit closer to them. I absolutely had a terrible safety car restart, even if it was a virtual safety car, but still. Terrible restart, they got away, and I lost like 1 or 2 seconds behind, though I can still see them, so it's some form of hope. We then come out ahead of, we come out of the third sector, right behind Verstappen, and we tuck into a slipstream in DRS, rich mix, and overtake ERS. The 4 of those elements combined together and will allow us to prepare ourselves to P4. But it was right here that we quickly see that as we're right behind Vettel, he's in P3, so a podium is realistically attainable today. Trying to brake a little bit later so we can stay within the slipstream, stay in the tow, maybe try to manage our fuel. That's what we were always trying to do, but now we have overtake, rich mix, and DRS, and we're just gonna send it on the inside like a smooth operator would.
Nice move. Good job.
So we managed to put ourselves up onto the podium places on the final lap in the final sector of the Grand Prix. Didn't think it would be smart to go for a move on Bottas, so we just stay behind, do the smart thing. And as we run up to the final corner on the line, we are going to come up to take 3rd place at the Spanish Grand Prix, an excellent way to debut for a new team.
Good job, you did really well. Super driving.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. It's time to check out the
So yeah, I guess it's time to carry Racing Point in the Constructors now. Thankfully Perez isn't too bad of a driver. He definitely has a lot more points than Russell does, so Perez will probably help in scoring points and bearing the load of the team.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with
These interviews are always annoying.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race. You must be thrilled to be up on the podium. It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it? It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? Great. Well, that's everything.
So that is going to be the end of this race and this episode as a whole. So thank you for checking out the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.